Welcome back to another episode of 63 Bravo Garage. I'm going to be doing the CV axle seal on the differential on the passenger side of a 1994 Chevy Blazer. This one happens to be mine. So that's what I'll be working on today. And I've already been in there and replaced the CV axles and things like that, and I've noticed this leaking. So I just thought it was time to change it. I went ahead and got me a 2-post lift installed, so that'll be very useful on this. But as far as the seal goes, I just got a Duralast one from AutoZone. Here's the part number for that. Also, you will need anaerobic sealant. GM, this is their specification on this. This isn't mine. So RTV is supposed to be a big no-no for it. So I would just go by, you can go get this at O'Reilly's. I got this at Bumper to Bumper anaerobic sealant, or you can get it off Amazon even. So the seal, this is kind of what she looks like, but it's not too bad of a job. So my next shot, it'll be me. I'm gonna lift it up, and I'm actually gonna take the passenger side front wheel and tire off to help me access the CV axle bolts. You don't have to do that, but I'm just trying to make my job a little easier. So I'll see you in the next shot. Okay, I've got the passenger wheel off. Mine were 19 millimeter. Probably if you stay to the 94 original OEM one, it's going to be like 22, I believe. But anyways, here's where you access the CV axle bolts. And like I said, you do not have to remove the wheel. I'm just trying to make my job a little easier because I'm going to use an impact to get these out. But anyways, these are 15 millimeter, and you just go in here and keep turning until you get them all out. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll be back in on the next shot. Okay, I got all the bolts out. Now I'm just gonna take this off, just like so. And now I'm gonna raise it up some more, and you'll probably have to do a little prying underneath to get this further down to clear your housing right here. So you'll probably have to do that. It shouldn't be no big deal, but I'm going to jack this up some more, or lift it up some more, and shoot from underneath to show you what else we got going on to get this piece out to be able to change this axle seal. Because there it is. It's going to be that one right behind there, and she's leaking. So it's not too difficult of a job, like I said, but I'll be back in on the next shot. Okay, back again. We're underneath here. Here's the piece you have to remove. You're going to have to remove these 15 millimeter bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you got 2 connectors you're going to have to remove right here. Just came off. Pretty easy connector to remove. These are pretty much self-explanatory. They just got these little tabs on them right here. And then, where'd my socket go? These 2 nuts are 21 millimeter. So, I'd loosen these. Actually, I'm going to take these off first, and then I'm going to take these out, and then I'll be back in on the next shot. Really quick on these nuts right here, there is going to be, it's not a stud in there. It's going to have a head on the other side that you are going to have to hold. I've already got these out, and another quick thing, it wasn't 5, it's 6 of these bolts. There's one more right up on top. That's it right there. All right, I'll jump back in on the next shot. Okay, so here's the inside And you can see it's just kind of pretty plain in there. Make sure pulling this out, you watch this spring right here, and my washer came off. Make sure you get it back on there, and when you're pulling this stuff apart, make sure you remember the exact orientation it goes. That way your four-wheel drive will engage like it's supposed to. So I'm gonna get this over the workbench and start taking it apart and trying to get this seal out. Okay, we're back here at the workbench and I'm gonna start disassembling this thing. Always make sure you have like a clean place to lay your parts so they don't get any more dirt than necessary. So first I'm gonna remove this spring, right? And I'm gonna leave it faced up. Oh, can't see that. I'm gonna leave it faced up just the way I took it off. That's the best way to do this. Now I'm gonna remove this retainer piece and it will slide out as one unit. And you see how it's like that? And there's gear inside. And I'm gonna leave it faced up just like this so I know how it goes back. And honestly, there's only one way this can go in, because if you look at the diameter of the hole. So just remember that. And I'll probably clean that up a little bit with carb cleaner in a second. And then I'm gonna remove this washer right here. I'm gonna clean it up. And I'm also gonna leave it in the same faced up position. That way when I go back together with it, I know exactly how it goes. So now, the only thing that's left is you're gonna have to take a hammer and hit right here to jar this pin in here. It's like a locking pin that has to be jarred when you hit it. So I'm gonna pause it right there, and I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be back in on the next shot. Okay, so it only took about 2 licks. I used a dead blow to not damage my casing right there. And you can see this came up. Now you have a little washer, locking washer thing. I would keep it to the bottom of this gear. That way it's in the same orientation. Everything's faced up on your little napkin over here. Okay, so now your housing should just slide out. And there's the seal we're after right there. So I'm gonna cut it right here. I'm gonna clean some stuff up. I'm gonna clean this shaft up. I'm gonna clean up around here. And you know, I know y'all don't wanna watch me doing that. And I'm gonna pop this seal out. Just anything, a screwdriver, a mini pry bar, a seal puller is always nice. You might have to use a hammer to get that seal out, but it's no big deal really. So I'm gonna pause it right there and I'll cut back in on the next shot, going back together. Okay, we're back and we're gonna start assembling this. Now, you need to clean the mating surface. If you use a buffing wheel like I did, make sure you plug your holes and clean it off with carburetor cleaner. So I've installed the seal, and what you want to do to install the seal, what I find the easiest is finding a large enough socket to get over that and hammer it in. I wasn't going to go over that because I feel like that should be relatively easy to do. So we're going to install this and start sliding it over the shaft. Feel a little bit of grime, and you want to make sure you get all the grime and sand or whatever you can get off, because you do not, they'll act like sandpaper in there. So let's try it. Alright, now we got that in there. Now remember our exact orientation that we had before. Our washer, with the tapered end down, is going to go first. And then slide that on there. Now we got to hammer this. Okay, a little update. You know, I was having trouble getting this seated on there with that snap ring. One thing that I've noticed, so this is the seal that came out of it, and I got the part number off here. It is 260-31569, and it is AC Delco part number. Okay, so I prematurely got this one because that's what kept coming up. Everybody said it goes to it, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I saw this seal, I thought about it maybe a little bit. Well, the problem is the depth of this is too much to go in here, and it bottoms out. So I went to AutoZone, got the one that's cross number. It's a Duralast brand, and the number is that right there, 71001. So what I recommend is to pull yours off. I mean, yours may have this one style, or it may have this style. So I think it's probably wise to just, because I mean, I think this one's like 30 bucks, and I had to ruin it getting it out, so I couldn't take it back. And this one's like $8. So I'm gonna put that in there, and hopefully that gives me the depth I need to get this gear seated on there, because I've been having issues with that getting seated, and I wonder if it's because the shaft hadn't been able to go all the way down like it's supposed to. So I'll see you in the next shot and let you know where I'm at. Okay, so what I essentially had to do is take two of these little pocket screwdrivers, and I got in there and I kind of pried against that snap ring to allow it to relieve a little bit of tension to be able to get that hit down. So with that, we're going to go ahead and finish continuing assembling this. It goes there, and your spring goes here, sits on there. And that's how it goes back together. So now after this is where that anaerobic sealant is going to come in, and we're going to put that on there. So I'm going to do that, and I'll come back in on the next shot. Okay, I've got mine in with the anaerobic sealant. These 15mm nuts, I'm not sure what the torque spec is. Good and smells just fine, but you know, just don't get over crazy with them because it's aluminum. And now all I've got to do is put these nuts back on and pretty much just reverse the process of what we just did to hook my CV axle back up. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to cut it right there just so I can hurry up and finish up. This took me a little bit longer than I wanted it to. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section below. And like I said, if this video was helpful, please like and subscribe and share. And thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.